You want to fight him again?
Yeah, for sure. We gotta make that bag.
That bad.
My first contract is signed for immediate rematch, when there's a draw or if in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him.
Been amateurs together, so I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight.
GervontaDavis has finally spoken about signing the contract for a rematch with Lamont Roach. He has also taken some responsibility for his last performance, saying, "He was not fully focused during the fight." Davis admitted he could have done better and promised to show his true skills in the rematch, which will happen soon. This shows that Davis knows his mistakes and wants to fix them. Now that the fight is confirmed, he has a chance to prove himself and quiet his critics. Both fighters are training hard, and this rematch is expected to be one of the biggest fights in recent boxing history.
I could have stopped him. It's me. It's me. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Cause I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up, and I could have definitely did more.
Devin Haney, a well-known name in boxing, shared his opinion about Lamont Roach's performance. He said he has known Roach since they were kids. Haney praised Roach for how he fought and said he personally believes Roach did enough to win. Haney's support makes Roach's claim of victory stronger and adds more discussion about who really won the fight.
And finally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own two eyes, and yeah.
Yeah, you were, you've made some comments. I wanted to see the backflip, and I'm surprised Tank didn't say nothing back to you about that.
Hey, I was just speaking my opinion on it.
People are talking more and more about a rematch between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach. Reports say the fight might happen around June this year. Because their first fight was so controversial, Davis is now under pressure to prove himself and silence the critics who think Roach should have won.
Rumors are swirling that GervontaDavis could be back in the ring around June to rematch Lamont Roach. Hopefully there's some truth to that, because Tank needs to redeem himself immediately.
Rematch is likely to happen because both Davis and Roach want to prove something. Their first fight ended with controversy, and fans were split over who really won. A second fight will give both boxers a chance to end the debate once and for all.
Why I say this fight needs to happen again, because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Would I like to see this fight happen? Yes, I would like to see a fight happen again, because I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis and not being knocked out. And I also want to commend Tank, because Tank didn't have
Julian Gonzalez, another boxer, believes that Lamont Roach will win if there is a rematch. He said both fighters will come prepared and fix the mistakes they made in the first fight to perform better. Gonzalez's confidence in Roach shows that the challenger has a strong chance to win.
Who do you feel like wins the rematch?
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling it off, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, smudge. Like I wasn't mad at the draw. I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because Lamont surprised me a lot, you know? So, yeah, I'm saying Lamont, man.
One of Lamont Roach's sparring partners shared his frustration about the result of the fight. He said Roach actually won, but was robbed because of the power and influence Davis has in boxing. He suggested that the judges may have been influenced by Davis's status instead of scoring the fight fairly.
Out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, he's Baltimore all day, but I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Camp for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. You know what I mean? As far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but nah, I mean, we running the back.
Davis's trainer admitted that Roach is a skilled fighter and said their game plan for the fight was well prepared. He explained that if there is a rematch, they won't make big changes, just small adjustments to help Davis win more clearly.
By Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Yes, sir.
Alvarez shared his thoughts on the controversy about Davis taking a knee during the fight. He said that if a fighter takes a knee on purpose, they can be disqualified in some situations. His comments add more to the debate about whether the referee made the right decision.
Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
Many fans have made fun of Gervonta Davis for saying that his hair was too greasy, which caused him to take a knee during the fight. Critics think this is a weak excuse and say a true champion wouldn't blame something like that. This controversy has made people want a rematch even more.
Got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh, my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh, my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well.
Commentator Joe Rogan has said that a rematch between Davis and Roach must happen. He argued that Davis cannot just walk away from the controversy, and boxing fans deserve to see the fight settled in a fair and clear way.
Everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some shit in his eyes, but what are you doing putting shit in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. That no one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball, bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating, it is dripping into his eyes. Like, what is that shit?
Yeah.
Bro, shave your head.
Weird, right? Yeah, exactly.
Shave your fucking head. Who cares?
Like, don't be pretty boy. You better go get this fight.
Get those fucking braids out of there. You don't need those.
Joe. Rogan also shared his thoughts on the important moment when Davis took a knee in the 9th round. He said that if a fighter chooses to go down on one knee, it should be counted as a knockdown. His opinion suggests that the referee might have made a mistake in judging that moment, which could have affected the result of the fight.
Davis, Lamont Roach fight?
Yeah, that was trash.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
great fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. So track 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee,
and then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which it was clearly a knockdown to everybody, you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
If
I
you walk
think
off
they will probably give it to Lamont.
This is a very interesting rule. They have a power slap that kind of talks about what you guys are just.
GervontaDavis has been accused for a long time of picking easy opponents to keep his undefeated record. Critics say he avoids the toughest fighters and picks fights that are easier for him. The controversy around the Roach fight only makes people believe this more.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he been respected Lamont because they fought in the amateurs. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, and really thought he was going to get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. He stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is going to be a knockout.
Several boxing analysts and former professionals believe that if there is a rematch, Roach would have a good chance of winning. They say that Roach found important weaknesses in Davis's game plan, which he could take advantage of even more in a second fight.
GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach is staying as a draw, which is bullshit because GervontaDavis obviously took a knee and it should have been counted as a knockdown, but it wasn't. But this just means that Lamont Roach is going to take GervontaDavis in the rematch, unless GervontaDavis ducks the rematch with Lamont Roach because he knows he's going to get his ass whooped once again.
If I get touched, I'm coming on that ass.
Coach Bernie has said that Lamont Roach needs to be more aggressive in a possible rematch. While Roach did well, Bernie thinks there were times when Roach could have been more dominant. With better focus and a stronger approach, Roach could win clearly.
But he did good, Lamont Roach. But only thing, like I say, if he gonna go back and wish he threw his hands more, he might start getting mad at himself and realize that he when he watches the fight, it feel good to hear everybody say that. But when you go watch the fight and you realize, I let him slide too much. Like even the last round, he's standing there posing, looking at the man and then he got caught with a jab. That wasn't good.
The first fight between Davis and Roach got strong reactions from fans. Many people in the crowd booed Davis because they were unhappy with his performance. This backlash puts more pressure on Davis to agree to a rematch and prove that he really...
This shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA. For him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt, it just shows to me that instead of gritting it out, all right, and possibly get knocked out or taking those chances, he'd rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy,
or it can be the bully complex. That when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give some back, like any book, they kind of unravel.
The point of controversy was the referee's decision not to count Davis's knee in the 9th round as a knockdown. Many people believe this decision affected the scoring and the final result. This argument has made the demand for a rematch even stronger.
All right, man. Listen, it's been a couple of days since that Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And look, you fooled me once, okay? I'm going to let y'all get that. Y'all got that. But come on, man. This was a money fight, clearly, and also clearly Tank lost. I mean, there's no mistaken identity that Roach landed more punches, Tank had a higher percentage, but when we look at the punches and the punching power, it was Lamont Roach 8 rounds to 4. And then if you take in consideration that Tank took that knee, which count as a knockdown, the ref even started counting. I mean, there's nothing even to debate here. If they were tied without them even counting that, if you supposed to have counted that part, he would have actually lost the fight. It's a win for Lamont Roach. Get your bag. Go out there and say you the only person that tied with Tank Davis. But, man, if y'all fight, y'all better fight for real, because this, be real.
With all the controversy around the fight, interest in a rematch has gone up a lot. Many boxing fans now think it is one of the most awaited events in the sport because they want to see the two fighters settle things in a clear and final way.
Oh, fight fans, did you catch that Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach bout? Talk about controversy. The judges called it a draw. But let's be real, a lot of people think Roach got robbed. Both fighters brought their A-game, showing off some serious skills in the ring. Roach was on fire, landing clean shots and outworking Tank in several rounds. But Tank had his moments too, showcasing that explosive power we all know. But Tank going on one knee or being wobbled didn't swing it toward Roach. I don't know about that, but either way, now everyone's buzzing about an upcoming rematch. I mean, who wouldn't want to see these two go at it again? What's your take? Did Roach deserve the W, or was the draw fair? Drop your thoughts below and let's break down this.
Boxing. Analyst Luke Thomas suggested that Gervonta Davis might be thinking about retiring after he finishes the last 3 fights in his contract. If this is true, it could mean that Davis might avoid a rematch with Roach, which would disappoint fans.
Do it. Now we're left wondering, are we going to get a rematch with this? Which I wouldn't hate, but I don't know if there's like a big demand for it. Tank has said prior to this night that like all of this is, you know, he's got 3 fights left. This would have been one of them, so that would have been at least 2 more essentially this year if he can squeeze them in. He said it was supposed to be against Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Where are we with that now? What does this do to that? I genuinely don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. I don't know what PBC is going to do. PBC has had a bit of a rough run of it. I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to pile on their difficulties. But like they lost Canelo or whatever the fuck Canelo's doing. Then they still have Gervonta. He's still a big star. I'm sure this sold well. And again, it sold well at the gate. So that's still great. But they're hoping to like build off of this. They didn't get it. They were trying to get something going with Tim Tszyu. That bottomed